Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let's be honest about something. When we talk about our allies around the world, NATO partners, Europe, longtime strategic friends, they're not looking at America like they used to. Pre-Donald Trump, they're not looking at it like that. They're asking one question: can we rely on you? Are you dependable or are you erratic? And this is the question that they're asking today.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where the problem comes in with Donald Trump's approach on the world stage. Because allies aren't just about strength, they're about consistency. They're about knowing that when a crisis hits, the United States is going to show up the same way it did yesterday. But when policies have been shifting, when alliances are questioned publicly, when long-standing agreements are treated like temporary deals, this creates uncertainty amongst our peers. And uncertainty is the one thing allies cannot afford and they do not want.
You should make an apology here to us. Because you didn't congratulate us for the peace deal that President Trump made between Albania and Azerbaijan.
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah. So, and you worked very hard. You worked very hard. We had 500 did it. And you were so interested to have peace and you were obsessed about Armenia and you didn't thank Trump for Albania.
Now they're making a joke about something that Donald Trump said. Donald Trump said he started 3, 4, 10, 20 wars. Now they're laughing, saying, wait a minute, you need to apologize because you told me that you told me there wasn't going to be a war. And according to Donald Trump, there was a war. So there was a joke going on about what Donald Trump was saying, which is a joke around the world, really. He started X, Y, and Z. How do you start a war and then end a war and call yourself the person that ends the war? This is what they're saying.
After assembling the most powerful army in the world, failing to win a war against a middle power, causing oil and gas prices to skyrocket, and delivering incoherent speeches, the golfer from Mar-a-Lago shamelessly admits to being stunned by the Iranian response, which was entirely predictable, and now calls for help from his allies whom he was insulting just yesterday.
He just came out and rolled all over the president. Like, how you gonna ask somebody to help you and you was dogging us out in the news yesterday, but now you want our help? And you act like you don't understand strategic warfare. You act like you don't understand what they were going to do. You didn't care what they were going to do. You just wanted to be showing strength, and now you're being failed by a middle power. That's what he's saying.
And they reply to him, "You didn't consult anyone, you have no plan, and we have no reason to follow you blindly into the fog." Trump, the only elephant in the world who walks around with his own china shop, now has no choice but...
He's got the biggest microphone on the stage, and he still acts recklessly. This is what he's saying.
But between two equally bad options. To withdraw shamefully, pretending, without convincing anyone, that he has achieved his objectives, or to trigger an escalation with results that have been known in advance since Vietnam, Iraq, or Afghanistan. A quagmire, and in the end, a disgraceful departure, leaving the field open at the time to the communists, to Daesh.
Mr. Trump is not a man of peace. He is a man of world destabilization.
Whoa. He's saying you don't bring no peace. You bring chaos. And the world doesn't need more chaos. The world doesn't need a leader. See, that's why they're looking at us in America like we have lost our mind, because we are allowing this disruption in our world, in their world, in the world peace. We're allowing it. The American people, because you guys voted for him. In terms of the Republican Party, because they're too scared to act. They're too scared to make a move against Donald Trump. They're too scared to do anything. Even after all of the things that they have witnessed this past week, they're still afraid to do their duty when it comes to their job in Congress. The Republicans are still afraid to do their duty. I'm not holding the Democrats to a different standard. Democrats are not in power. The Republicans are in power. It's up to them to go to their president and say, you need to step down, or you need to quit, or you need to do something different, or you need to change your strategy. It's up to the Republicans to do that. They don't have the courage to be our Congress people. So that's why they need to be voted out.
But Iran has shown us that when a people believes in itself, believes in its capabilities, when it is convinced it is a strong civilization rooted in its own values, well, that people can resist anything. And Iran has just demonstrated that to us.
The descent of the United States into fascism, a president who rejects election results, incites insurrection.
See, it's not just us Americans saying this is a descent into fascism. It's other countries saying the same thing, and they don't like it. That's other countries saying the same thing.
Attacks the judiciary and the media, has an armed militia intimidating minorities, who kidnaps foreign leaders and threatens the sovereignty of others. If Trump smells weakness from the EU, it's because when the US or Israel break international law.
Think about this from their perspective. If you're a European ally, a country, if you're relying on the United States, U.S. support for defense, trade, intelligence, and you're not sure what tomorrow's position is going to be, you start preparing for that, like Canada did. You start building backups. You start asking, do we need to depend less on the United States? That's not betrayal when they all said, we're not going to jump into this war with you. That's not betrayal. That's survival. They've been around hundreds of years. Some of those countries have been around hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Who knows? Way longer than the United States. And they've seen war come and go. Now, people are saying it's not fair. But to be fair, some leaders respect a more aggressive, unpredictable style. They see it as strength. They see it as leverage, but traditional allies, our traditional allies, they're used to stability. They're used to long-term commitments. They're used to diplomacy that doesn't feel like it could flip at any moment. So when that changes, it does not just create tension. It creates distance between us and our allies. And that distance shows up in trade negotiations, military coordination, global decision-making, and speeches like these.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I speak not just as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, but as a leader deeply alarmed by the direction of global affairs. We have heard statements shocking, reckless, and full of brinkmanship from President Donald Trump, who said that Iran could be taken out in one night if it does not meet his demands and reopen the Strait of Hormuz by his deadline. Let me be clear, threats of obliteration of entire nations erased overnight are not leadership. They are reckless, they are dangerous, and they have no place in the 21st century. Shame on you, Mr. President, for using such language at a time when millions of lives hang in the balance. Threatening to destroy civilian infrastructure, power plants, bridges, homes is not deterrence. It is provocation. It is not a strategy for peace. It is a blueprint for profound suffering. The United Kingdom has taken a considered, responsible approach. We will not participate in offensive military action. Our priority is protection of civilians, stability, and ending this conflict through diplomacy. We reject the notion that force can substitute for negotiations.
So, and here's the bottom line. Allies don't just support power. They support predictable power, because that's what keeps the world from spinning into chaos, spinning into wars all the time. So the issue isn't whether America is strong or not. The issue is whether our allies believe their strength is steady enough to stand beside. And I'll leave you with this final one.
Cannot follow Donald Trump into illegal wars. He's invaded more countries than he's probably aware of exist at the moment. He will do anything that he thinks he can get away with, and the rest of the world has to tell him he's got to stop.
If you like this content, please leave a like, share, subscribe, and a comment in the comment section. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.